Hey guys, it's Randi. Welcome back. I hope you're doing well since the last planner chat. It's Monday morning when I'm recording this voiceover for some footage that I recorded yesterday, Sunday, and we are continuing on with this visual podcast. As you can tell by the title, I'll be talking about the harsh reality, the inevitable big hard pill to swallow of having a multi-book planner and journal system, which is that at some point you will fall behind in your books. I know, huge, groundbreaking, mind-blowing stuff here. I'm just kidding. It's not that serious. I just needed something to get your attention with a subject that I think a lot of people can relate to if you're part of the planning community, but it's not necessarily a reality for everyone. Some people are able to successfully use multiple books throughout the year without ever falling off, but for me and a lot of other people, it's a reality, and after much resistance and denial, it's something that I've learned to accept, and I am here to walk you through how I deal with these dips in my planning and journaling when they do happen. If you're not in the planner community, you might be a little confused as to what I mean by being behind in my planners. I just mean that it's been a few days since I filled out the pages of my books, so now there are gaps. And not to be dramatic, but this fact is just a little bit crippling to my soul. I mean, you spend so much time and money and brain power putting your system together, making it as perfect as possible. And then life just kind of gets in the way, as it does, and you watch the system slowly crumble. You fall behind in your books, and then instead of planning for the future and journaling about the present, you end up playing this game of catch-up, spending all your efforts trying to fill in the blanks from weeks back, and it starts to feel like the game will never end. Your planner then becomes your log, your memory keeper, your journal, all that. Is this a problem? No, absolutely not. If this has happened to you or it's currently happening to you, you're not alone. No matter when you happen to stumble across this video, if you ever have a moment of doubt where you might think that other people are judging you for sharing this kind of stuff online, I want you to take those thoughts and feelings and just throw them in the trash because they're not the vibe. This is your journey, not anyone else's, and I'm certainly not here to judge you for this. But, yep, there's a but. But I am here to tell you how I deal with my own gaps and how I catch up, and it's simple. I do not bother playing the game of catch up. When the dips happen, I accept that days, maybe weeks have gone by in my book or books, and spending the time to go back and fill whatever I've missed in, it just wouldn't fill my cup. Dwelling on the situation won't do me any good, and going back won't fulfill me. So I just turn the page or pages and pick up where I need to. Right now, you're looking at my brain dump journal. This is a Leuchtturm 1917 weekly planner and notes notebook. A few weeks ago, I actually posted this bad boy on my Instagram and how it's such a valuable tool for me and my squirrel brain. The statement and sentiment still holds true. I do appreciate its role in my system, but things were really crazy the last 2 weeks, and I feel like you're one of two kinds of planners during stressful times. Planner number one, your planner becomes your whole life. You are living, breathing, thriving, surviving because of this book. Or planner number two, you completely abandon your planner and live off of scrap pieces of paper and sticky notes around your office. Or you can be the wild card and abandon your current system and adopt a completely new planner or a few planners to try and settle things that way. So you're planner 1, 2, or the wild card, and I unintentionally became planner number 2. And that's totally fine, totally okay. I recognize it, accept it, and I will try to prioritize utilizing this book moving forward because I know that it works for me when I'm actually using it. And I'm a little behind on the footage now, but as you can see, next up is my bullet journal, For this book, I'm using another Leuchtturm 1917, and this is an A5 hardcover with the square grid. I haven't filmed a proper video to highlight this book just yet, but I will do that sometime this month. Full transparency here, I'm filling this in on February 6th, and I have not touched this book since January 25th. Yeah. I had plans to utilize this book every single day for 2022, and I ended up falling short, not even completing the first month of the year. But again, that's okay. I know a lot of people get discouraged when their plans to be consistent don't exactly plan out. I get it. It's happened to me so many times, and that's why I can abandon a journal so easily. But for where I'm at in my journey right now, I know that the bullet journal system, it works for me. And if I skip a few days or a few weeks in it, it's okay. It doesn't mean that it's not working for me anymore. And side note, if you feel like something isn't working for you anymore, that's okay too. But specifically in my case, I can just pick back up where I left off. So I set up for February, I filled in the monthly, and then I went in and filled some stuff in for the different trackers or collections that I have in the front of the book. Something that I'm changing for the time being is the pen that I'm using. I know that this kind of thing would drive some people up a wall. I mean, I'm going from a 0.7mm tip pen to a 0.38. That's kind of wild, but I did this in my last bullet journal and it didn't really bother me. I was just relieved to be using a pen that I'm more comfortable with. And I kind of feel that way again, but we're getting there. I was using a Pilot Neo Gel and I really loved the pen. I loved the boldness, but it just didn't really work that well on this paper. It took quite a bit of time for it to dry, and that's not a feature that helps with the functionality of what this book was supposed to be. Like, I was actively avoiding having to write anything down just so I didn't have to deal with the smudging. And for me, that's so lame. Like, why? So I switched to a Muji gel pen with a 0.38 tip. Definitely need to get used to writing with this pen, but apart from my shaky handwriting, this ink dries pretty fast, and that's what I need. And I could have edited this bit to be a little bit shorter to sync up with the voiceover, but I'm gonna leave these clips in just so you can see more of the pages in here since that setup video isn't up yet. But like I mentioned earlier, it will go up sometime this month. After filling out those bits, I was gonna go back in and fill in some reflections for January, but by this point I was kind of tired and decided not to. I'll probably try to get that stuff done off camera sometime this week. And for the last bit of this video, here's my Hobonichi cousin. Thank you guys so much for all of the love you've been giving the video that I posted with this book. It really means a lot, and I'm glad that it inspired so many of you to start your own creative journaling journey. The clips for the first two books that I showed were filmed Sunday afternoon, and this clip was filmed at around 8:30 p.m. Sunday night, just to show you that yes, this book is still the lowest on my list of priorities. I journaled every day this week as part of my morning pages morning routine, and there's a video up on that. But after that session, every day I would just go into work and do my whole daily routine, and then the next day I would decompress again and then repeat. And that's how it went for a while, with the exception of some nights I filled in the weekly logs of the Hobonichi cousin because I needed it. And I just want to mention that I don't believe that you need to explain yourself or your planner system, habits, activity to anyone. I've tried to permanently turn that defense switch off and just hit him with the because I want to, and that's good enough. But for the sake of this video, I'm just letting you know that's all that happened. Anyway, this is a dated book, and I know for a lot of people, they have that mental block with that detail, and they feel like they have to journal or plan for every page that's there and dated. But I've learned to not see it that way. Strict daily planning and journaling is not what this book is for me personally, and I intend on filling these pages with whatever whenever I can. It's just meant to be fun, blah blah blah, broken record, you guys know if you saw that video. So yeah, I stopped journaling in here for a few days, but then I went in and had a major journaling session and filled up some pages. It wasn't a catch-up session, but more of a fun, creative journaling session, filling in as many pages as I required and not really paying attention to the dates that were associated with those entries. All right, I think I'm gonna end the voiceover here, but the visuals will keep rolling because I know some of you guys like that hobo content, so here you go. If you've made it this far into the video, thanks so much for sticking around. I know for some people, this kind of thing, this topic isn't really that big of a deal. For me, it's not a big deal either, but it is something that I want to highlight for anyone who may be going through a slump. Slumps are okay. Not touching your planners or journals for any amount of time is totally okay. Try not to be so hard on yourself. If you want to go back in and fill things in, by all means, do that. If you want to just turn the page and move on from there, then do that. It doesn't have to be awkward or a thing of taboo to leave some of the pages in your notebooks blank. Whatever you decide to do, I'm rooting for you and your journey with your planners and journals. If you enjoyed this video, consider hitting that thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!